What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. I want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description. Also, talk a lot about my Glance LED. You see it there, lower left-hand side of your screen. Absolutely need it on an 8 light tonight. Whereas we talked about before, Orioles kind of getting the prime time spotlight over on ESPN, but you also want to stay up to date with everything else going on around, not just Major League Baseball, but the NBA. The Glance is going to allow you to do that with no subscription fees. I'm going to put a link down in the pinned comments. You can get a discount on your own. Now, Orioles didn't start particularly strong. They went down in order. Cole Irvin looked a little shaky, let some guys on base, but thankfully they were able to kind of close out the first inning with a double play. And really, it was Colton Cowser who made a name for himself the last couple games, but specifically, although this was Jackson Holliday's first game, we'll get into that in a moment. To me, it was Colton Cowser that stole the show. He took advantage of a walk to get on base. He actually stole second while Jackson Holliday struck out for the first time. And Jackson Holliday had an opportunity to get lost in this game because he went and tried to track a ball back into the outfield that probably would have been better left for someone else. And that allowed not only a base hit, but also Jared Duran to leg out the first score of the game. After this happened, kind of got a cutaway to the dugout where Adley was kind of consoling him a bit, probably trying to just get him level-headed. We all know that Jackson Holliday is going to be a great player, but you don't have to try to do beyond your capabilities on every single play. And it seemed like that was what was the culprit there. The Orioles also had some chances to respond in this game, and they didn't. As a matter of fact, the aforementioned Colton Cowser in the fourth had the bases loaded, struck out. The bases again would be loaded, top of the fifth for Ryan O'Hearn. And honestly, this should have been a walk. There was a very poor call way, way inside, but eventually doesn't go that way. O'Hearn grounds out to end the inning. Top of the sixth, more runners on base, and this time it was Jackson Holliday bringing in some runs. The score ultimately 5-3. Mike Baumann, I mention all the time, huge Mike Baumann fan, but again, just not really the confidence and the command you expect. But then Jordan Westburg broke the game open with a home run, got the Orioles out 7-5. Keegan Aiken comes in and pitches absolutely lights out. I mean, Keegan Aiken is looking like the Keegan Aiken we assumed this team saw when they weren't optioning him. They weren't trading him. In some cases, they weren't releasing him. They continue to hold on to Keegan Aiken. A lot of people kind of looked at it and said, why are they holding on to him? He hasn't looked all that great. But this Keegan Aiken looks absolutely incredible. Closes out the seventh inning with a clutch strikeout of Casas. And then Austin Hayes comes to the plate with his spectacular .077 batting average, and he flies out. Could have had the insurance run of Gunnar Henderson, who had a triple, but ultimately the ball just fell out of the air. And that's kind of how things are going for Austin Hayes. So he goes back to the bench, probably dejected, and then he has to watch Colton Cowser make back-to-back supremely clutch catches, both of them right at or into the wall. Craig Kimbrell comes on, closes the door. What they expected Craig Kimbrell to do when they signed him, certainly not take the place of Felix Bautista. I don't think anyone is going to take the place of Felix Bautista, but if you get the combination of Aiken and Kimbrell pitching like that, going more than one inning with Aiken, that's a really, really good look. No matter who's throwing the ball, that's what the Orioles needed. The confidence that's kind of been lacking. Like I said, Mike Baumann been a little bit shaky. Cieno Perez obviously out. Danny Coulombe looking also like one of the best relievers in the game right now. So nice to see the bullpen step up. Really nice to see Westburg and Cowser kind of cement their roles on this team. And I think ultimately that's what you're also looking for Jackson Holliday to do. Didn't exactly happen in this game, but certainly a game that he's going to look at. Fond memories. He did get his first base hit. He did get his first strikeout. He did also have, a base stolen while he was up. So it wasn't like the moment was just his, but Really good performance by the whole team today, and honestly, now in position clearly to win the series. Play a game tomorrow, head back to Baltimore, and I already looked. I thought about possibly going down to Camden Yards for Jackson Holliday's first game. Let me tell you something. If you want to go to that game, you need to go online right now, get your tickets, try to find parking somewhere, because that game is nearly sold out. They're going to do a free t-shirt for that evening. Really nice. I obviously was there at Adley's first game. I was there at Grayson's first home game. They usually give away really nice welcome to the show shirts, so it's nice to see that Jackson is going to have that same exact welcoming when he comes back to Baltimore. Other than that, I would love to know your guys' thoughts on this game. I would say in closing, talked about it all week. If Austin Hayes is not in the lineup tomorrow, I think Austin Hayes is probably not going to see much playing time the rest of this season, because Colton Cowser has overtaken his job by spectacular play, not only at the plate, but also in the field. And also this kind of went hand in hand with Austin Hayes just not having the good start to the season and having some injuries hamper him the past couple years, despite, let's not forget, Austin Hayes did a lot for this team. Austin Hayes was an all-star last year, but after that, things just really did not go the way you expected for Austin Hayes, and probably the way he did not expect either. Hopefully, we can maybe look to trade him out. I'm sure there's tons of teams that can use his services, give him a fresh start, get him back on track. I don't want to see a player like Austin Hayes that, again, I like a lot. I don't want to see him stuck behind guys that he's never going to be able to get past and just kind of be put into this position where he's a spot filler across the outfield. Again, appreciate you guys watching this. Love to know your thoughts on it. I will be back as soon as I can with more commentary.